The big idea. Pow 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 Rala.
Rala and Baby. Boom, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
Rala and Baby. Boom,
Who that?
boom.
The big idea. What is up, our listeners? Our last episode was only 38 minutes. For that, we apologize. We are chained to the idea that it should be at least 45.
Yeah, right? 40 or 45. I can't even remember. I gotta say,
Oh,
I am deep in jet lag. And I really thought, I didn't realize that jet lag could also impair your like minute to minute cognition of how long time is. But now I actually really believe that. I'm
of
like, oh,
course it can.
you
Jet
can
lag
have
can
jet
impair
lag in like increments.
jet.
Like that felt like an hour to me.
You're
I
wrong.
hate listening to us. I love listening to us. So it's a surprise.
It's confusing what you're saying because you're saying two things and they're opposite.
And what do you think my big idea today is?
Is it
Oh,
opposite?
well, a little bit. It's that my big idea today is that I think that I trust fiction more than nonfiction.
Oh my God, how interesting. I just had a little bit of a chat about that last night. I, and I didn't really get to fully go in there, but there's somebody was talking about a show that like it's all made up, but they're saying it like it's true. And they were like, I just don't want to watch that. Like, I feel like, why are you doing that? Be honest. Like, yeah, maybe they are trying to be honest.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like also in stand up a lot, like I'm like, why don't you just say the truth and find like what the real truth is from the truth? If people, because I think that then people are going willy-nilly. And I don't think that's right. I don't think willy-nilly
It's
is
ever right.
correct. Well, I think it's right in some senses. Sometimes willy-nilly can be great if that's like if you're just like playing crazy, but that's like its own thing. But if you're making art, then I'm like, well,
Not willy-nilly, because that's inconsiderate, and not considering is, of course, what we in this podcast call evil.
evil Knievel. Evil, at least with a EVEL. Okay, but here
I'm going
is,
IL.
yeah, because I know, but evil, remember, is softened by Evil Knievel.
Yes,
And
I'm
that is
not trying to
evil. That is
soften.
evil. That is evil, actually, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, I think if you're telling the truth, you can find the truth in the truth. Yes, yes, yes. But there is something about like fiction, especially like written fiction, that if I know that you are making everything a choice, then I can look harder at like what you're
Okay.
trying to say rather than what you're trying to justify. Oh, that just came out of me. But I think that's really true. I think that people even like I have this impulse to like make something mean something and I'm really good at it. And that is a skill I like and a skill I think I make use of in a good non-evil way. But the idea of moving towards a story, a thing where you are aware and the other people are aware that you are making every decision is like
Why would you assume that otherwise you're not making every decision?
because you're if trying to stay like connected to something that happened. And I think that that is great and I prefer it. I what this person was saying to you about the stand-up show where they were just making everything up. I don't know what that was. And
No,
I
it's
don't
sort
know.
of like a tell-all show where they make it all up. But
And
they're like,
everybody
dude,
knows they're making it up or
I
everybody
don't
doesn't
know.
know.
I don't know that everybody
Then
knows.
I don't like that.
But I do think it doesn't like it's a stand-up show. It's about their life, and they have fictionalized a lot of stuff, and they are engaging with it in order to be able to engage with it, I guess, is like the explanation of, I suppose, I don't know actually, because I'm filling in everything. I just had maybe a 2-minute chat about this. And it was just like they were just like, I just don't like it. It was like, it's not, you're not telling us the truth. Like, some of us are really trying to tell the truth,
Yeah,
was
we
the
talk about
sense.
that a lot.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot.
And I do feel
But
like that when people are just like making up details and making up things and saying it like it's the truth. I am less interested in it. I don't think it's morally wrong or whatever, but I am like, why?
But I mean, there's this thing that you're saying about decisions there. Like having had made the decision is the thing that makes me more interested in it rather than like you just doing a retelling. As if the retelling isn't like all decisions that you're making about what to retell or not to retell.
Yeah, but there's a thing that that's like maybe we're talking about two different things because there's like the
Okay.
thing that people are saying something else happened because the punchline would be better or like wouldn't it be funny if? And I'm like I don't care about that for a second. And
No, I think that, yeah, right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when you tell a story and it's like this happened and it happened, let's say to my dad. And so I say like it happened to this guy I know. And so I change that. I change like my relationship to the person
yeah,
because I want to tell this and I want to bring me close to it. I want to bring you close to it, but I don't want to like burn myself on the way or whatever.
yeah, that's great. That's fine and good.
And then I change some fundamental details to things that I think are more telling of the way that things were for me, given my read of the thing, rather than the way that they were actually.
Yeah,
But
I
also,
think that's great. And I think actually that is like a genre that I'm sure exists. I think it's like creative nonfiction or whatever. But like I'm not whenever that gets said, I like want to run out of the room. But like I've been thinking about this thing like speculative memoir, like also like telling a real story that I choose about up to where I am in my life and then getting to choose to tell the story like the way that I would like and think things might happen like as an exercise to me like really feels exciting and
wow.
interesting to me. Um yeah, so I think like that's cool.
Yesterday,
And,
talking to Lawrence about his show, there was this moment where we talked about like he had this moment in the show where he goes to an island and like in a visualization, um, and you get there and you find everyone that you've ever known is there on the island with you. And like this idea of like you start looking at them and you realize that they're actually you and they're not other people, they're you. Every single one of them is you. So then you're in this island with a ton of people who are you. And I'm sorry, I'm giving away a part of his show. It just real it might not even be this. It changes all the time, but like
yeah.
there's this part where it's like they're all you. And then like we've been trying to figure out like what to do with that part, like to make it so that people are moved to like talk to you. There's like the thing of like the moment that you realize that everyone's you, then you can stop judging you and then you're done judging. It's like if you stop judging you, then you've stopped judging because they're all you and so you're free now. But also then yesterday we were talking about maybe they're all you, but they're you in different ages of you. So it's all you, but it's you every age you've ever been, like and every age you will ever be. So then you're in an island with you, and it's you with every age you've ever been and every age you'll ever be. And you get to look at yourself in every age you've ever been and every age you'll ever be. And you get to tell yourself something in every age you've ever been and every age you'll ever be. And like the type of things that you would tell to yourself old or the type of things that you would say, it's just like an interesting kind of place to think about this island where they're all these people, they're all you and they're all the ages. Um, yeah, that's just what the speculative memoir thing reminded me of. Like this like
Yeah.
thing of like getting to engage with yourself at every age is such a because like we know the inner child thing, like that brings up something of like, yeah, tenderness, like easy, you know, you think of yourself as a kid and it's like you just have loving feelings toward yourself. You're just a fucking kid and it's you and like you're like, come on, you don't know anything. It's like, yeah, you don't. And then you think of yourself as an old person, which I barely do also. And
That's
that
what
same sort of feeling.
we've had this though like before where like I feel like I'm telling you a lot like you actually knew a lot when you were young like when you were smart and you're always like you talk about yourself sometimes like you were a stupid little rat idiot. But the rat part is fond. The rat part is
The
fond.
rat part is with my whole heart. I
Yeah.
mean that.
Yeah. But
Rat is just because of what I look like.
the so sweet.
So sweet, so sweet. But there is the thing of like the none know it's the foolishness now, the way I feel about it. Like just like the eternal foolishness that is like inherent. That's good for me to relate to actually about myself now. It's like I'm like looking around. I don't know. And there's a tenderness that is born inside of me when I relate to myself through my not knowing. Whereas my knowing is like she's like harder.
Oh, okay. So interesting. Like, so it's like when you think about your young self, you're like, you know that you didn't know then. And so there's like a fondness there.
There is a fondness for me there. I'm not going like you fucking idiot. I've
You
never really
literally used to, I think, say
at
those exact
16,
words. You
at
think,
16, I am going like that. What I was going like that. I'm less doing it now. But yeah, in my first show, I said like if I saw myself at a party at 16,
oh, right. What do
I'd
you
be,
say?
yeah, I was about to. I'll go for it.
Please.
I would say that I would like if my person, like me at 16 was at a party and I was there also, and she was like excited to see me because it's me, and she thinks we're the same. And she comes up to me and she's like, Lana, oh my God, it's so good to meet you and see you. Like, and I would go, security. You got to get this girl out of here. She is dangerous. She takes a lot of laxatives.
It's
And then I
really
go,
funny.
yeah, I don't want to hang out with her. She's stupid. That's what I would say.
That's funny.
It's interesting that thinking about how I talk about stupid in my show now and
Yeah.
how I talk to myself at that point. Yeah.
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 Now you think of stupid as a good thing.
Well, stupid is like a whole thing for me. Stupid's like a real, I've been on a big journey with stupid. It's my worst insult for sure. If someone's saying that to me, like that's what they think. They think I'm fucking stupid, which is what I had to live through my subway take, get slammed on the ground, get slammed on the ground on the subway take. This, but like people are like, ah, whatever. I'll tell you about that after. But I like a creator that I follow, no nonsense spirituality, use my thing to talk about
I saw
atheism.
that though, but that was nice.
Yeah, I liked
Did
it
you watch
too.
it? That was like what it could have been.
Yeah,
And that was like she like used it as an invitation to talk about it in like a nice, thoughtful way, and also
yeah,
talked about the points that you were making that were good. And it was like, oh, like
yeah.
this is actually really perfect.
Intrigue. Yeah, and like yeah, she's saying like my atheism is the beginning of me engaging with my magic, like the magic of being alive. And it's like for me too. It's like this feeling of like, how the fuck would I ever even think to be full atheist? No chance. There's so many amazing things going on. But like I didn't whatever. Don't worry about that, but the feeling being that stupid is like also what I want to be on stage. I want to be stupid. I want to be really stupid with my things. And at the same time, I want to be knowing that I'm being stupid. I don't want to be unaware of my stupidity. And the unaware of my stupidity, I want to be the knowing fool always. It's very hard for me to be the fool full time. But when I think about myself as a tiny kid, I know I'm fool full time. And like I love that about that part. Like I don't have a feeling of like, oh my God, that fucking idiot about kid.
That's nice. There's like a thing I think to I listened to this interview with Weird Al Yankovic, who was I will listen to it on my way to Canada because he was performing at the same time as me for free. And I was like, that's steep competition. And he's so sweet. His interviews are so sweet. And he talked about like they were like, what would you relive? I forget what the question was, but it was like he and his wife talk all the time that they wish that they could have. They say to their daughter that she was like 21 or something, like that they wish they could have one of her from of every age, like living in their house. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could have you now, but also like 6-year-old Nora and like 7-year-old Nora and like, oh, remember 2-year-old Nora and like that is something that was like such a good way of saying something that like we think about our kids, which is like we miss them at their other ages, and we also like wouldn't want them to not be the way that they are now, but
Yeah.
it's a funny thing. And then right, so obviously that thought is easier to engage with for me because I think about it all the time with my kids.
Mm.
Then also, and also it's easier for me to see how I was so smart as a young person because I have kids who I think are so smart. And like, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. I love the way that you feel about this because it's very clear to me that like I have room to look at this again and again and again because for me the other thing is like it's what simply comes up when I think about myself as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
It's what simply comes up. It's like and I can do sort of I have tried like to do sort of work around like yeah, endearing myself in order to love that person in order to love what I'm like now. which I do. Like I have a good relationship to myself, a really good one. I'm very kind with myself. Um, but there's something about discernment that is like what I feel I'm employing then when I'm like looking at myself and going like, but actually it's not really discern. It's like led more by yeah, by a sort of examined thought. Like kids, yeah, like I didn't know what I was doing. Was It's kind of like the unexamined thought. I didn't know what I was doing.
when you were a kid? Like
When I
that's
was
what you
like
think.
yeah, 15,
Uh-huh.
16, 17. Like if I would have known what I was doing, I wouldn't have clubbed that much. I wouldn't have gone to the club as much. Like I wouldn't have smoked that amount of weed. I wouldn't have drank that amount of alcohol. If I knew what I was doing, I wouldn't have given over so much of like my precious brain
Hmm.
to that. Like, yeah, if I knew what I was doing. But then also like it could just easily be that like I knew what I was doing and I wanted to do that because that's what everybody was doing and I wanted to be in group so bad because I was scared of being out group. Like I've
Oh
always
yeah.
been that. Yeah, and also I have hearing aids that whole time and it's like I just want to be a pretty girl who boys like, but I have hearing aids and so I like that must have been difficult in some way.
In some way.
Yeah,
That's
that I
so
could.
funny. That is like the thesis of your show. One thesis of your show is that must have been difficult in some way. Like,
That's straight up how I feel. Yeah, that must have been.
what is your big idea?
Yeah, I think my big idea was actually about decisions.
Okay, interesting.
Like,
Okay, good.
yeah, which is similar to yours, may I say.
Well, go ahead. Tell us why.
It was because I was thinking yesterday, I was thinking about like the how of approaching things, basically. It's like I've been like noticing, I'm doing my show every day right now, no? And I'm like, there's just so many micro decisions that go into how I want to do my show every day. There's like the things that I eat, that the way I sleep, like everything that I do leading up to the show. It's obviously a microcosm of the way that everything is all of the time, no? But it's like very clear. There's a one thing that I'm doing every single day here that is at the same time, and everything that leads up to it is the stuff that led up to that show. So there's a very clear moment that I'm like working towards every day, which I guess maybe people feel with like their jobs and stuff, but I never really get to have that like repetitive sort of ritualistic thing. And there are like all these little choices that I'm making that lead me to always the same sort of state, which is I'm about to throw up before I go on stage. Can't even tell you why that's happening to me every single time. I'm and then I'm dancing, and then I'm dancing, then I'm
Is
then
it
I'm
always like
dancing.
that or just this show right now?
This show right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really a lot the way I'm feeling. And then I'm like, I sit down and I do my vagus nerve system breathing, which is like 4 in, 4 hold, 7 out. And like, I try to calm down so I'm not going to throw up. And then it makes me start crying always. And then because Letting Go is on, which I love Angie McMahon's song. And I'm crying. And then it's like, I need to. It's just kind of about like, I guess like decisions and ritual is kind of where I'm feeling is like the thing that I just was telling you about is like I need to connect myself to whatever it is that I'm doing in order to be able to even feel like I am making a decision and not like I'm just sort of moving towards whatever it is that's happening. Like when is something a decision is kind of the feeling I'm having. Like when is something not just like you're just going and going and then now you did this.
Yeah.
And when is something a decision?
That
It's like
is like mine. That is like
yeah,
mine.
it is like
Because
yours.
also I think that like what I'm really exploring, what I'm really interested in exploring is like exploring what is actually happen through like the tool of fiction. Like even if it's just like saying exactly what happened, but like imagining what like letting yourself be the third person narrator where you like get to like think and feel what someone else is feeling in order to move that experience forward, like to not just like replay and like
Yeah,
reconstruct your version of events, but
yeah.
in order to like consider fully the way that things are and could be and were, and that like we like there's also something I'm thinking about decision, the word decision that I learned like in freaking like 11th grade English class from my teacher, Mr. Laninger, who is now who was my mom's teacher his first year of teaching in German class and my teacher his last year of teaching. And now it just came to my show when it was off Broadway and sat there at like 82 years old and was so sweet. And he came in, he said in the beginning, he's like, just so you know, I have a neurological condition that makes me process things late. So I will be laughing at the wrong times. And boy, was he. Boy, was he. And I just couldn't have been happier about it. It was the sweetest thing. But he, I think, just probably taught us this thing about deciding, which means to like kill off the other decision. So it's like like to choose something is to like pick it, to like pick that thing. But to decide is like to kill off the other options. And so there's like and also like when you like decimate something. I'm maybe losing the thread a little bit here because decimate I think means like kill 10%. So when you say something is like you decimated them, you're like, wow, you killed 10% of them, which is big. It's big. Please don't kill 10% of anybody I know. But it's like not the same way as like annihilate. So yeah, I'm saying a lot.
Yeah, I need to slow down a bit.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Well, just the feeling is like, even to say something like that about choosing, picking and choosing.
I'm going back to that.
Yeah, okay, but because the killing thing, like immediately I'm frowning. I'll tell you that. I'm frowning. I'm having the feeling, hey, stop that.
I used to feel like that a lot about it. I felt like that, like I wanted to be choosing. I didn't want to be deciding. And now I don't feel like that. I feel like there's something about liberating yourself from other options that like gives you a that like provides you with a way to like really explore that like like the thing that you pick. That it's like there is something in choosing the thing you're going for that is necessarily not choosing the other things.
Yeah. Yes.
And that is like I just, whenever somebody says like deciding, I still think about this thing, which is like, that is what that is. Is that what they mean to be saying, or is it not?
Okay, so I had the thought while you were saying the thing about like how to embody somebody else, like if you like fictionalize it, you embody somebody else's sort of like you choose what the relationship is to the thing that you've lived or the thing that your character is now living. And so you get to fully experience it, right? And so you go fully, and like something I go, no, obviously not fully. You go to the full extent of the possibility that this character can explore this thing given your relationship to this character. Very complicated way to say that, but like when you decide to narrativize something or to like remove it from yourself to give it to another narrator, and then you get to explore, you say fully or more fully, the thing that you got to live because you've sort of passed it on to another person. Just like it's easy for me to say, oh, I've gone through sexual violence if I think about my friend went through sexual violence going through the same thing that I went through. Like that's easy for me to go, oh, that's sexual violence. But if it's me, I'm going, no, it wasn't. It was something to do with how I was being, probably. And my skirt was too short.
Write it on a shirt. Write it on a shirt.
Yeah. But when you think about it in someone else, you get to really see like the full breadth of it. What obviously more full, not full. There's something about also that is a decision that kills off other ways of getting to see it because the fullness in quotation marks up my asshole, the the fullness of it is sort of dependent on the choices that you've now made, which means you've killed off another way of seeing it that you would have maybe had access to if you were still looking at it from your point of view. No?
But it is like the trying on thing that we talk about, which is like try it on like a jacket, try it on like a sweater. It's like you decide. So you're like, I'm putting this on. This is what I'm going to be wearing. It is removable if I remember that. And that's kind of like the thing that people forget. And I feel like that is my like draw to fiction right now. It's like, that it's like, well, it's like improvised writing. It feels like in a way, like it's so funny the way that we can take like novels seriously, but it's like somebody playing pretend all alone in a room rather than like in front of you with other people. But it's like the way that they're taught, they're doing that. They're like doing that. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
so sweet.
and it's, yeah, and it's sweet. And it's also like, but we can just like believe that that is a serious craft where it's like if somebody were doing it in front of us with the same gusto, we'd be like, that was easy freaking
Improviser.
improvisers. But
Oh, you have a red sort of tie on and a black shirt.
okay, because you said so. Okay. I don't see a tie there. I don't see a shirt. Um, but there's something there that's like, yeah, like, okay, that even when you're doing that, like, you can feel when somebody has limited even that exploration by the arc of their own experience. And what you can actually do, and it's been like kind of like haunting me, this thought is like how far can you really like another world is possible this about like things that are real and also things that like what if I really spent my time thinking and imagining a world a way that I would want it to be and the details of it and how it's messy. What was the thing that we said in the last one? Oh, the problems of community are, I pick them over the problems of loneliness every time. That was a thing that kept coming up with me and the people I worked with at the Brooklyn Free School, like was I was with them all the week and we kept remembering like how hard things were. And we were all trying so hard and we just kept being like, but like, wow, the other option was not trying that. And like
Yeah,
that wasn't what we picked. And that's like amazing.
yeah.
It's like we lived in this, we lived in like an agreed upon, what is that but fiction, really? Like we built it together, we decided this is the way that the world is going to work here, and that comes a lot of problems come up when you
Mm,
do that, but it's like
yeah.
incredible. I think
So,
also like the thing I was saying about speculative memoir, like trying to
yeah.
remember that like trying to look at my life and things that have happened like from an omniscient narration perspective and getting to decide what I want to be true in that and also like what I think really was true if I like really imagined other people's perspective, but also like what could happen, like where could it go from there. I always had this idea, I think I've said it to you before but not on the pod, where I'm like driving the car, I'm like driving the car of my own story, but with like my head out of the sunroof, like, and like
Yeah.
I'm like looking around from like up there, but like it's me, I'm driving the car, it's my car. But that's like um I don't know, I just think it's like, wow, what. And also like we've been doing it, people have been doing it. I kind of just have my mind blown by like the concept of third person omniscient narration. Like this is a human invention for storytelling where we imagine we know everything that other people are thinking and feeling, and often people are only using it to imagine conditions that establish further their own thoughts, feelings, and like ways of being. But when you read an author, and this is how I really feel about Larry McCurtry, the Lonesome Dove guy that I keep
Right.
reading, I just feel like he doesn't use it that way. He uses it to like really explore what if I were thinking like this person, like with, and that is like, when you read it like that, when you read something that's written like that, and there are like, also, I feel like that about Octavia Butler. Also, I feel like that about like really good writing. You're like, it feels different. It feels like, what? This is
Mm,
what this can be? And it's like the oldest storytelling invention there is. I feel excited about it.
right. Totally. It's deeply exciting. Because like, yeah, you're what you're like really facilitating is like deep seated understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. Also, there's like I was having a conversation about this yesterday, also about Lawrence Dodd's show, that is like there is this element of delusion that is necessary in like accepting a fiction. And the fact that it's delusion and so many things are trying to get us away from being deluded or whatever. Like delusion is like this negative sort of yeah, like it's a we go she's deluded or like don't be deluded or like don't, and it's like there is really delusion is kind of the first step towards possibility. like to believe, to accept, to conclude that it could be another way, another world is possible, like necessitates delusion because it isn't the world that is now. What is delusion anyway? D also decision, also killing, delusion, illusion.
What is, because I was thinking about illusion, right? And that's like
Yeah.
the vision of a something that isn't there. But then I was like, and then they put duh in front of it to make you sound dumb. Like,
But it's like something like, but there's like the sense of like it, taking it away
but it's not, is
or
it a,
killing.
yeah, it's a D, it's a D, E, uh-huh. I don't know how to
Who
spell
knows?
it
I don't know
because
either.
everybody's going to Lulu and I'm like, there's just U's everywhere in that.
Yeah. I don't know about that. But there's something about like, I mean, I have this thing constantly where I'm like, am I manic or am I deluded? Like, am I? That's the question I'm asking myself all of the time in my life because I'm deeply excited about some stuff that feels like I'm like maybe like hitching myself onto some sort of really fast moving donkey, and I'm like I can feel it, and maybe the donkey's not even moving, and I can feel like the about like there's this thing of like, and I do it in my show also, like when I talk about like I want everybody to say their worst insult. And oh, and I added a new joke, which I haven't told you about, where I say like, if everybody believes that everybody will do it, I want everybody to yell out their worst insult to me. And I say, if everybody believes that everybody will do it, and everybody else believes that everybody will do it, everybody will do it. So if we all believe everybody will do it, we all believe that everybody will do it, and then everybody will do it. And we're all here in the room hearing this. It's not like when I was vegetarian for 7 years because my friend said she was doing it too. It's like we're all in agreement now. So it might be, and then I go, uh, it's getting kind of exciting. And then all of a sudden it is kind of exciting. That is so interesting for me that all of a sudden it is kind of exciting because I can employ the feeling of, uh-oh, this is kind of exciting. It's deeply delusional because it's not exciting right now. But all of a sudden I can feel the excitement and now it is exciting. Now another world is possible where we're about to all do it because I'm excited about it. You can feel my excitement that I just sort of like went down and I picked it was simple for me. I went down, I picked it up, and now it's here.
Mhm.
And I can feel it in my heart, and so I can share it with you guys, and now we're all feeling it. And now we're all about to do something that we wouldn't have done if I hadn't employed this feeling that wasn't really maybe accurate to what was happening before. But now it's here because I called it up. Hello. And now we're excited. And now this new thing can happen. That's so interesting about like possibility and delusion and feeling. I don't know. That's what I was thinking about also with that.
Yeah.
It's a decision. It's a decision to be excited. I've
Yeah.
decided to be excited, even though it doesn't even follow, maybe it follows something else. Not, it doesn't even follow what I was feeling right now. I logically employ it.
Yeah. Well, okay. There's something about people's resistance to uh, like like the resistance we have to that feeling that is healthy, right? The resistance to like following a manufactured emotion that is like, yeah, because like everything's trying to get you to do everything all of the time.
Yeah.
So there's like when there are and when we can discern healthy environments for us to practice like moving towards a good feeling in a group, that's like it's rings alarm bells a lot of the time because you're like wait a second, that those are bad, and like a lot of times they are. I've been thinking about something I've been thinking about like about the camp too, was like at the end there was like all of these rituals and it was like lighting candles and moving to different places and like here like and singing songs and like all of these, and then there's more, and then there's like walking, like all of these things that are like, and then you look around and you get to see kids practicing earnest expression in a safe environment and you're like wow, because the main thing that people are feeling now about that is like you aren't gonna fool me into I don't know if this is the main thing really, but like a feeling I see come up a lot is like you aren't going to trick me into being like emotional or into a group feeling or something.
Mm. Yeah.
And there's something, I don't know. I don't really know like how to tie those two things together, except that like I think it's really good and I think it's really healthy and I think it makes a lot of things possible if you have been able to practice that in a place where like everybody is allowed to like have a different opinion, and also everybody is encouraged to like sit in a feeling together if they have it, like not like scorned for not. And then like to be able to remember how that is like, I don't know, how it's accessible and like the way back down to it is like, I think really good.
Yeah, it's like deeply non we're like I feel like we're like walking around the idea of like non-judgment. Like the things that make all of these, like the thing that is inspiring to me about thinking about the possibility of somebody else's full experience, like engaging fully with somebody else's full experience through fiction or whatever, and going like, what is it like for this other person? Is that if I actually think, what is it like for this other person? I'm not judging that person. It's not from me to them. It's just with them. Like the self, the outline of the self sort of dissolves. And for that moment where I'm thinking about this other person, walk a mile, whatever, shoes stuff, that like you are actually in the shoes. So the judgment wouldn't really it wouldn't be useful. It wouldn't be like a
Or it can be useful, but it's like at yourself. Like you're like, oh, I recognize this feel. I recognize this. Like I've felt this. I'm feeling it now. Like anything that you like.
what is it then though? Because it's not then judgment that it's like but there's a sense of like not kind of it kind of like not deciding whether it's good or bad, basically. Because you're just like you just do the journey. You're not like going like I shouldn't. You're not with this is you're not killing off the possibility of it going another way because you wouldn't maybe go that way.
Well, it's like understanding. It's like so if you can understand why somebody did the thing you're judging, if you can like actually understand it fully,
Yeah,
then you make it possible both for yourself and for that other person to make a different decision moving forward. Like for the other person to make a different decision moving forward and for you to like allow them to. So
I
like
don't understand.
well like if you're reading something from like a perspective that you like don't agree with but that fully embodies what that person. I love how my computer wants to give thumbs up and stuff. Um if you are like reading something and understanding something from a perspective that is not yours, but like you can see how someone got there,
Yeah,
then like it's not that the like judgment of the action is taken away, but that like it's like permission for you to allow that person to change. Like even if it is like totally judgmental, you think you're good, you think they're bad or they did a bad thing.
mm.
If you can like really understand it, then you're like giving them an opportunity to be like embraced in making a different choice, and you're giving yourself an opportunity to like not be a dick about it. Like it doesn't mean that there's nothing bad and there's nothing wrong. It's just like the
What is the part about giving them an opportunity to make a different choice? What is that part?
well, just that people are if you don't try on other perspectives, then like you
You
just see
decide who they are.
other people are bad and they're like that and that's why they are like that
Yeah,
and they're like
yeah,
and it's wrong. But it's like if instead you have actually tried on what it could be like,
yeah,
more stuff is possible coming out of that than just like rigidity in these forms of like, and this is what I'm like and this is what they're like.
yeah,
If you can
yeah, exactly.
see
Yeah,
how you can be like that, how if
yeah,
you can see how you could have and could now, then that like changes every possible future.
yeah.
And I don't think it ever, and this is again about the pacing of like fiction, like writing. I don't think it ever steamrolls you into, I don't think reading can steamroll you if you're like thinking about it
Into
into
an ideology.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe this is like naive because we've just come so far from like maybe this is like because obviously people in other times have been read into a like belief system that like isn't good. But like now it feels like they're just it takes so much more effort and like time and consideration.
Or there are just so many other things that you could be thinking about. Like there's so many other ways that you could be thinking that you have access to.
But
There's
like
like,
I don't think you're thinking that. I don't like what that's the thing I keep saying is like I don't think you're thinking when you're scrolling. I don't think you're thinking when
yeah,
like you're
exactly. When the rabbit hole stuff, like
yeah,
that's
and
not
you
thinking
can't
stuff.
control the speed, you can't control like the distance, then I think like it just gets in you.
Yeah.
But I think like there is something with reading and trying on another perspective there that I don't feel there's the same danger as like you just change like rewiring what you think about something. I think it's like it's
Maybe
immersive.
not with one or two books, but maybe with like eight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get there. You can definitely. People
You
have
can
definitely
get there.
got there before. People have
Yeah.
definitely read the books and gotten bad.
Yeah, for sure. But it is sort of you get to be there too the whole time. It's true what you've said in the last sort of episode, maybe two episodes ago, about getting to be there too
Yeah.
with reading. That was on our episode on reading. Oh yeah, if you could maybe not make a lot of noise, that would be amazing. That would be real nice. What's it called? Okay, so yeah, I think we're kind of nearing that sort of end for us now.
In our relationship.
Yeah, it's kind of over now. I
Okay.
do want to say, okay, so if we talked about decision and we talked about doing this, we've been talking decision the whole time. I think that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
And we have been talking fiction the whole time,
Yeah.
but we
What?
haven't found the in between thing exact.
Yeah. What do you think it would be?
Yeah, okay, because we've talked about like getting to look. So we're talking a lot about understanding and getting to look at things outside of yourself. Which is interesting, may I say one thing about this? Because there's something also a disassociation that happens when that happens too, which is a thing I'm very wary about because the thing that tends to happen to me, which I always have to sort of pull myself back from, which is the thing that I wanted to say, which I can say now, which is that just before my shows, I don't have to, I do, and it's very useful to me and it always brings me to tears and I want to be in that exact state before my show. My comedy show, yes, absolutely my comedy show. And that is not at odds with each other in the least for if you're a person like me or Abby. Um, or pretty literally everybody, actually. You want to be soft up there. I go, my name is Lara Ricote. I am in the cave back of the Monkey Barrel in Edinburgh, Scotland, where I am here at the Edinburgh Fringe. I've been doing this show for 6, 7 days right now, straight. It's a show that I made with my heart. I made it with Abby, my best friend, my collaborator that I understand. My sister helped me. She's here all of the time. My sweet sister who's debuting here, doing her show here. About like I go through all of the things that are happening to me right now. I go through what I feel. I go through how it is that I got to this feeling. And I decide that these things are happening. Basically, that's what it is. It feels like because these things are either happening or I've decided that they are happening.
Yeah.
It's different. And the other one is they're happening to me and the opposite is like I've decided that these things are happening. So I'm part of it. Like I get to be inside of it instead of it just sort of washing over me and being a thing that is happening to me. And it makes me emotional every time I engage with what is actually happening to me. It makes me emotional. And and I know it's a decision I have to make about being part of my existence, pretty much. And it's understanding, and there's a bit of a narration element that is part of it, like a deeply, not a bit. It is. I'm narrating to myself what is happening in my life, which is a bit sunroof looking
Yeah.
over, going, "This is what's happening in my um." And it allows me to experience it while I am already experiencing it.
Yeah. That's also like the thing. But this was my big idea in the last one. It's so funny we didn't talk about this, but it's like the saying what happened part of like being together, where it's like, wow, like that is so important. And it's
Telling
really,
everybody what just happened. That this
yeah,
woman doing that.
yeah. And it's really moving. It's really moving to be like there yourself. That's what you're there yourself in the backstage and you're about to go out and share that version of you with however many people are there. And then it's like also really moving to have been told what happened, which is like also what you're doing in your show.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, I think it's like, yeah, it's like the decision of like, of what, right? So all of this stuff, fiction, nonfiction, shows, narration of others, narration of self, it's like deciding what you're going to say happened.
Yeah. And letting your like then that's kind of the only way that you get to have it have happened.
But it's like recognizing that
Yeah.
that is a decision, that narration is a decision. So you can re-narrate it, you can like, and you can look at other people in that way, like, and really think about what it's like. Yeah. I don't know what the synopsis of the big idea is, but I
It
like
feels
it.
like yeah, me too. I like it too. There's like something about like recognition. There's something also about like acceptance, but like relating there's something big about acceptance here. Like relating to reality.
But it's like expect like it's like accepting, I feel like it's like accepting responsibility, which is like it's like I don't know. I wonder if ever like we're trying to get to the big idea at the end and people are like, it's this. I know
Yeah.
what it is. If you know what
If
it is,
oh my God.
we would love to hear it. It's like
Yeah, I guess we can
incredible.
just decide on one, but they should tell us.
Yeah.
We have like I think 82 listeners.
82? 82 people could know what this means.
I know. I know.
That's tons. That's way more than just the two of us.
I know. And those are consistent ones. Those are the ones that are showing up every single time.
And we could know all of your names, and if you tell us what they are, we will.
Yeah. And they'll come up every once in a while in our heads and we'll go, that's one of them. This is what I'm thinking though. There is something about, I think that the big idea maybe here, I think, I think I won.
You think it's just deciding?
I think so.
I don't feel like that really hits on my big idea. I think there's something about it's like for me
I
it's
think
like
I won.
knowing you're deciding.
I won.
I mean, you can go ahead and feel like that.
I think I won.
Wow, this is the narration she's doing. Wow, she's fictionalizing this podcast. Wow,
It
I think
is?
it's podcast. I think
I
it's
think it's a
fiction.
podcast
I
where
think it's a fiction podcast. I think
thinking
she's
this
thinking of
podcast,
fiction.
Nana won.
Wow, she's
I'm starting to think
fictionalizing
in this
it.
podcast, Nana
Wow.
won.
And in some ways, fiction is more real than the truth. So maybe she won.
Rala, Kang Kang.
Rala and Baby.
Yup, yup.
The big idea. Who
Who
dat?
dat?
The big idea.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
All 82 of you.
Ciao, love you.
The big idea.